we go. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bump and Run. I'm Pete Colasano, joined as always by my good friend, Mr. Scott Bracey. What's going on, dude?
Peter Colasano, hear this and hear it loud. There is football tonight.
I was just about to say, do you know what today is? This is Thursday,
August
28th. Do you know what today is?
The first day of fall?
It's the first day of something. It's the first day of season 6 of Bump and Run Sports Podcast.
Wow.
How about that shit, dude?
That is crazy.
How about that? 182 episodes done after today. Pretty impressive. It's a little something to be proud of.
Yes, I agree.
So, yeah. We're going to get to a lot today. We have college football, kind of a little quick preview, and then we have some college football picks. I have something in that college football segment. You know, one of the things we like to do on this podcast from time to time is point out how not just that we're right, because we're right significantly more often. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like nuclearly. Is that a real word? I don't know. It's way more than, you know, all the retards that we see on television and stuff like that and on the radio. But I got one specifically for you because not just are we right, but we're usually way ahead of the curve. Sometimes almost too much because we sound like idiots until we're geniuses. And you, sir, turned out to be a genius on something in college football that I can't wait to bring up. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll do some win totals, teams to look out for, Heisman watch. We got some picks so people can start making some money. But why don't we get started? Leave you on that little cliffhanger of why you're such a friggin' genius. Why don't we get started with the NFC North?
Yes, sir. Last year's division order: Lions in first place, Vikings in second, Packers in third, Bears in fourth. Let's start with the lot of the new Ben Johnson, hot coach, quarterback that paints his nails, the Chicago Bears.
Sure.
In the draft, they added tight end Colson Loveland, first pick out of Michigan. First round, 10th pick out of Michigan. Second round, 39th pick, wide receiver Luther Burden out of Missouri.
I like that one, by the way.
And free agency, I like both picks, obviously. In free agency, they added 2 linemen, Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson. Ben Johnson knows what he wants to do here.
Uh-huh.
No notable losses on the defensive side. That was pretty solid.
Decent defense, yeah.
Finishing 4th in the division, but pretty solid defense. Schedule: Lions week 2, at the Commanders week 6, at the Ravens week 8, at the Bengals week 9, at the Vikings week 11, host the Steelers week 12, at the Eagles week 13, at the Packers week 14, and at the Niners week 17.
You know,
so Ben Johnson, buckle up, my friend.
Yeah, and I look at a lot of those games and I go, I really am curious to see how some of those teams are at those points in the season because a couple of those teams, like even the Niners, you hear predictions all over the place from them being a 500 team to this is near the end of their Super Bowl run. So there was a number of the teams on that list. The Vikings. Do we really know, as we're going to get into that, like who the Vikings are?
Steelers.
The Steelers for sure with Aaron Rodgers and, you know, Mike Tomlin maybe coming to the end of his run potentially. Who knows? We've talked about it here. So it's an interesting schedule. You know, it's not the obvious hard schedule. It's the potentially hard schedule, but potentially
could be some fun games in there.
They got some
prime games in there too. So
yeah.
Let's go to our favorite, Detroit Lions. Drafted Tyleik Williams out of Ohio State, 28th pick, first round. Isaac Tesla, hearing a lot of good things on him. Wide receiver from Arkansas, third round, 70th pick. They traded a wide receiver, so they're really high on this guy. Added cornerback DJ Reed, defensive end Marcus Davenport. The big loss on this team to me is both coordinators have bid farewell.
Yes. That's a big one, of course.
We just had head coach in the Bears. The other one head coach with your New York Jets.
Correct.
Carlton Davis and defensive end Zadarius Smith both say goodbye. Schedule: week 1 at the Packers, week 2 at the Ravens, week 5 at the Bengals, week 6 at the Chiefs, week 7 hosting the Buccaneers.
We're going to find out real quick about those new coordinators.
Week 11 at the Eagles, week 15 at the Rams, week 16 hosting the Steelers, and week 17 at the Vikings.
Yeah, it's fascinating when we talk about the new coordinators simply because we look at Campbell as more of a manager head coach as opposed to a guy who's on one side of the ball or the other. Although he is an offensive coach, he's not a play caller. So our most recent reference is the Philadelphia Eagles 2 years ago, where they lost both of their guys to head coaching jobs, and they really, really struggled the following year, and then came back and won the goddamn Super Bowl. So it's not a death sentence necessarily, but it often turns into, struggles at first. The one thing I will say that will help them, number one, on the defensive side, is they're getting so many guys back from injury. We mentioned how many starters were injured, more starters than are actually on the field at one time. Double, I think it was 13 starters went down with injuries, which is insane. There's only 11 guys on the field. And then on the offensive side of the ball, what'll help is that they really are primarily and they really do prioritize running the football, and running travels well. Because the reason you run the ball well is all still there. They have a very strong offensive line. They did lose a little on the offensive line.
One guy retired, right? Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, so there's some problems there. Don't get me wrong, but they're going to be a good offensive. They're going to be a good running team, and there's nothing that can settle a team down better than a good running game. Hold the ball, possession, and then quarterbacks. Almost every quarterback functions better with play action pass because the defense has no choice but to respect the run. So I think that helps a lot in the transition on both sides of the ball. But it will be interesting to see how they deal with that challenge.
Yeah, and how they, Ben Johnson was so creative. Let's see if this new guy gets, they're getting Sine Pool, the goddamn hook and ladder play. Like, are they still going to do that kind of stuff?
And the other thing is, this will actually give us a better idea of who Campbell is as a coach. Like, was it just Ben Johnson that was just so special and Campbell was just there as the Mr. Motivator guy? Or is Campbell really a phenomenal, what we think, a phenomenal leader of men? People want to play for him. So it'll be a real test for him too, to convince his players to fall behind new coordinators.
Yeah. Panay Sewell, I think I got his name.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Let's go to the Green Bay Packers. Finally, after years and years of Aaron Rodgers wanting to draft a wide receiver, they finally do that when he's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Wide receiver Matthew Golden out of Texas, first round, 23rd pick. They added McCole Hardman and Nate Hobbs, cornerback Nate Hobbs in free agency. They lost running back A.J. Dillon, center Josh Myers, and linebacker Eric Wilson. Their schedule, week 2 hosting the Commanders, week 4 at
Before
the
you go any further, I just want to say, losing your center is always so underrated.
I know.
I don't care who the team is. It's like losing your point guard. Like, it's just hard to adjust because that's the one that makes the calls for the offensive line. So, whoever talks about centers, we talk about offensive lines as a whole.
Yeah.
And then we talk kind of like left tackle, right tackle, like tackles are important because they're protecting core. But centers are so important. Do not underestimate losing a starting center like that.
Oh, yeah. They know all the packages, blitz coming,
everything,
change coverages. Absolutely. Getting the center quarterback into the transaction.
Dude, they're so vital. They're so vital. Next to the quarterback, they know more about what's going on than anybody else.
Agreed. Schedule week 2, Commanders at home. Week 4 at the Cowboys. Week 5, Bengals at home. Week 8 at the Steelers. Week 10 hosting the Eagles. Week 13 at the Lions. Week 15 at the Broncos. Week 16 at the Bears. Week 17 hosting the Ravens. And Week 18 at the Vikings.
They got a hell of a stretch at the end of the rope there. To me, the most important thing that I'll keep an eye on, and they need to improve on, is frankly just health. When's the last time you went through a season with Green Bay and you're like, they made it through the season pretty healthy?
Well, it's funny you brought that up because they're already banged up at wide receiver, and Jordan Love's had surgery on his wrist.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you count on them? And it's hard. And yet they were banged up last year, and yet they won 11 games. Right? Didn't they win 11 last year? So, but to me, we're talking about a team that I think over the last couple of years, we think is taking another step after that year where they beat the Cowboys in the playoffs. They had San Fran on the ropes, chance to win the game. Kind of thought they'd take another step, and they really didn't. Maybe in a regular season they did a little, but they really didn't. And a lot of it just comes down to health. And I'd just like to see if they can stay healthy. What could they really do? What's the potential that's there?
Yeah. And last but not least, the Minnesota Vikings. They added lineman Donovan Jackson from Ohio State, first round, 24th pick. Added center Ryan Kelly,
Mm-hmm.
defensive tackle Jonathan Allen, and basically quarterback J.J. McCarthy, if you want to go that route.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
No notable.
I'm sorry, go ahead. No.
You.
No, I let you finish, and then I'll just give you my little Minnesota
No
State.
notable losses ever anywhere. Also, the defense with our buddy, who was it? Mr. Flores, Brian Flores. Yeah.
Flores.
New Year, same old Kelly.
Why is that, man? You know what it is? I know it's Hispanic, but then I just fry, man. I don't know what the hell it is.
He puts together a very good defense. They have a lot of moving parts there.
I can make an argument that he's the best defense coordinator in the NFL right now.
I could definitely get behind that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd have a hard time disproving it.
Schedule, another brutal one, obviously, here at week 1 at the Bears, week 3 hosting the Bengals, week 4 hosting the Steelers, week 7 hosting the Eagles, week 8 at the Chargers, week 9 at the Lions, week 10 hosting the Ravens, week 12 at the Packers, week 14 hosting the Commanders, and week 15 in Jerry's world at the Cowboys.
Yeah, to me, Minnesota is the biggest enigma in this division simply because how can we really know what we're going to get at a JJ McCarthy? It's a huge question mark. You like him, you love him, I like him. I think he's going to do well, but how well is and what does the NFL really come down to? We say this all the time. It comes down to about a half a dozen plays in a game, and are you on the right side of those plays or not? And it's not easy. It's just not easy to make those plays at those times. So they're like the biggest enigma only because of their quarterback. But the rest of the team is really good. They bolstered up that offensive line, so you're probably going to see them run the ball. God, this division probably has from top to bottom the best offensive lines in all of football, like as a whole. I mean, you're probably going to get more Pro Bowlers out of this fucking division than the rest of the NFC combined. Like, you think about that. Like Chicago bolstered theirs, Minnesota bolstered theirs. Green Bay already had a good offensive line, might have gotten better, and Detroit had a good has one of the better offensive lines. Like, it's unbelievable. So yeah, it's really going to come down to that Michigan connection. Can JJ McCarthy make things happen? Did they also just make a trade for Adam Thielen?
They did.
Get him, bring him home.
Jordan Addison's out the first 2 weeks with suspension.
What was that, for PEDs or for gambling?
I want to see something different. I want to see maybe reckless something.
Oh, okay.
The violence, maybe domestic.
Oh, domestic. Okay, all right. Well, whatever it is, yeah, you're right. So I like to pick up guys who come back home a lot of times.
Hurt, right? Get them some more weapons. I don't know.
But coming back home, guys play well for a while, even if they're kind of near the end of their stretch. They're happy, they're feeling good. They want to, show out well. So I expect to see some good things from Adam Thielen, at least for the first half of the season.
I believe he went to high school and college in Minnesota too, didn't he?
It was at Minnesota Duluth or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Something like weird Minnesota shit. Peter, in 4th place, I'm going to shock you here, pal. I got the Green Bay Packers.
Oh wow, really?
I don't like where they're going. They're hurt again. They're hurt already.
There's no doubt about that.
I love Josh Jacobs, a running back, but dude, you can't rely on him for fucking 17 weeks. You're gonna have to throw the ball. They got Matthew Golden in the draft, but all the other guys are banged up. They might trade a guy. Now they're in the Micah Parsons sweepstakes. So there's a lot going on here. I think the division's just too tough. I'm not saying they're going to go 5-12.
Right.
I think 7-10, 8, and I think that's how competitive this division is going to be.
Yeah,
but I do think they're going to be in the last place of this group.
I do still have the Chicago Bears in last place, but I say the same thing. Like, I have them at 7-10. I don't have them as like a top 3 pick or something like that. Look, we've gotten on Caleb Williams a lot on this show, and I do it more because of all the bootlicking that goes on everywhere else with Caleb Williams. I try to be more honest about what I see. The reality is he is talented. He does have a good arm. He is pretty athletic, not wildly athletic, but pretty athletic, and he is competitive. And then when you just say what you want about the Bears, the moves that they've made over the last 2 years between free agents, trades, and draft picks have made this roster significantly better than it has been in recent history.
Yep.
So the reality is I do think that they're going to be better. I just still don't have a strong belief in Caleb Williams. There's things I've seen in the preseason that I don't like. There's things I've seen that I do like. I just don't count the preseason that much because I know And people get so caught up in what they see in preseason, whether it was Shador Sanders, Caleb, or Dylan, whoever. You're just getting so caught up in it, and you're missing the point that these guys, these teams are not game planning. They're not even trying to like confuse you or anything like that. You just can't go by it. So I still think they're the worst team in the league, but I think they've definitely closed the gap. And I don't think it's like worst team, you stink. I think it's like them. I think them, and frankly, I have Minnesota in third. I think it's them two right there for those last two spots.
I got the Bears in third.
Okay, you got the Bears in third?
I got the Bears in third. A lot of what you said. They're closer. Now, listen, it's all fun and games with the OC, calling trip plays with the Lions indoors, all this shit. When you're the head guy in charge now, a lot more responsibility.
You're in charge of everything. It changes things.
A team that hasn't smelt anything in 20 years almost. Like, it's
yeah, and then the question becomes, I suspect that the offense will be better, right? But the question is, do other aspects, time management, special teams, defense, other things, challenges, do they take a hit because Ben Johnson is new at being a head coach? I got to believe that the offense is going to be pretty damn good. We like everything there. Even Caleb Williams, I would take him over a lot of guys in the NFL. Just I wonder how the rest of the functioning will go down. So, yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
For me, I have Minnesota in third. I'm sorry, did you want to add to that?
Nope. Oh.
I have Minnesota in third right there. I just can't. I can't with the way this division is built. I just can't put them much higher. But I do have them at like 9-8, like a good team. They're probably going to beat some good teams. They're going to be a tough out at home for sure. Big time crowd, a lot of noise. So
good defense.
I don't think and their defense they can run the ball. They're going to run the ball. And the other thing I will say, I hear JJ McCarthy only throws a fastball. Blah blah blah. Here's what I know about JJ McCarthy. He's fucking winner. Like. You know what game that sticks in my head? Like people talk national championship. Frankly, that was easy stuff for him. Alabama, he didn't have to do it. No, it was the year before when they lost to TCU.
Yeah.
They were down by like 3 touchdowns at one point, and he was forced to throw the ball on every down, and he was slinging it all over the goddamn place. He looked like Tom Brady. He looked like Peyton Manning. Like, it wasn't any throw he couldn't make. He was completing everything under the sun, even though some of these guys were making drops. Like, that game actually impressed me. Why? Because they were behind. What do I always say?
Yeah.
How do you perform when you have to throw and the other team knows you're going to throw? Okay? And they knew he was going to throw it, and he still threw it all over the park. It was completing balls all over the place. That was the game that said to me, this guy's a baller. He's a winner. Because he does what's necessary to win. If you look at the last 2 seasons at Michigan that he had, some games he didn't have to do shit, and other games he did. 4 first downs, 4 scores. That's the part of JJ McCarthy. I like the winning part, the doing what's necessary to win. So I do think there's something there, but I got to see it before I give him more.
So I have them in second, so I'll just add to what you're saying too. The game that got me with JJ McCarthy is when they went into Columbus his junior year, and they haven't won there in like fucking 16 years. And he beat the shit out of him. And he was throwing balls, running the ball on 3rd down and something for a touchdown, put his head down. And, all 10 guys ran up to him and fucking hit him on the head. Like, that's the shit I'm talking about. And that's what you're talking about. Like, winner, gamer,
competitive,
a guy, athlete, like team player. You just got voted a captain today. First year's a starter.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot there, man. I think, and I love him obviously for obvious reasons, but I think more of the football aspect. One, everywhere he's been. Okay, he's got the arm. You're going to learn that stuff. Take some heat off the fastball.
Sure.
He's got weapons everywhere now. He's got Aaron Jones is a decent running back, and they got Jordan Mason to back him up too, who played a lot of football last year with the Niners. He's capable of being a good backup running back. And Kevin O.C., dude, we love him as a head coach and a play caller.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm not thinking 14-3 like maybe last year, whatever they were, 13. But I think 10-7, something like that. Because like I said, I think this division is going to be very mushy, very squeezed together.
That's fair. In second place for me, I do have Green Bay. There's a part of me that wants to put them in first, but some of the things that you said and all the injuries, I just think as a team, and I love their head coach, they're good every year, and I got to give it to their head coach as to why they're so consistent, right? The problem is there's just so many injuries all the time, and we're starting the season with injuries. Like, come on, we're not even like 2 games in, and we're already down. So I got him
and they lost Jair Alexander to the corner they had. That scares me a little bit. I don't
Like
know.
I got him at around 11-6. I think I still just like the talent and I like the head coach. I love the stadium. I just think also as the year progresses and it gets cold, it's a tough place to go play. Nobody likes playing there, so I still think they end up doing well. But 11-6, no better than last year, but I don't think any worse either.
And for me and you, the Lions in first. I don't believe the coordinator departure is going to be a big deal for me. Getting the guys back on defense and getting some additions in the draft too. I think getting Hutch back obviously too is going to be a humongous thing. They could not close the game out last year because they could not get to the quarterback.
Exactly. Yeah.
If Hutch stays healthy and that leg's good, that'll change things big time. I've seen some things where he's favored to win Defensive Player of the Year coming off that injury, which is mind-boggling to me a little bit.
Pace to beat that before he got hurt. There was an opportunity for that. So
I think he finished in the top 10 like 6 categories.
Crazy, right?
And he missed 9 games. Or that was. Love their offense. Love Jared Goff. I just think there's the adult in the room. Laporta, Jamison, Williams, and St. Brown.
So much there, man.
I mean, Gibbs and Montgomery. I mean, Christ, you could probably take them 1 overall in talent.
I think that's fair. Yeah, I got them at around 12-5. I do think they take a step back from last year. I'm less concerned on the defensive side of the ball. I got to be honest with you. I don't know how good a defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn was. It's hard to really judge. Previous to last year, their defense was mediocre at best. Let's be honest. It was mediocre at best. Hard to judge him off of last year because of so many injuries, so I'm not going to say he did a bad job, but I also can't say he did a good job. How many games did they lose giving up 30-something points when they scored 30-something points?
No.
A bunch. So not good. I'm more concerned on the offensive side of the ball with the coordinator part, but yet you just mentioned all these long-time, really good pros. I just don't think they suddenly stick. I just don't think Goff and all the names that I just don't think suddenly they're bad. You know what I mean? And I just don't think Dan Campbell allows that to happen.
Agreed.
So I still think they're the best team in the league in the division, and I do think I don't think it's realistic to say you can win 15 games again, but 12 is pretty goddamn good. So I'll put them at 12-5.
All right, that's our NFC North preview. We have one left next week, and that's the night after the season kicks off.
Fantastic.
All right, buddy. We have college football tonight, this weekend, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, and that's our favorite thing to do. I want to start by saying goodbye to Lee Corso. I know both of us are big fans, and it's been about 2 or 3 years overdue, I think.
Probably. That's fair, although I don't care if he was mumbling. I don't care if I could barely understand him. Half the time, I just love Kirk Herbstreit's facial, body language. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be hard. It's just going to be really difficult without him. Even like Pat McAfee's reaction, the way he would treat him, like he was like a grandfather at the table with everybody, and the amount of respect that was shown, and just the fun. We get nobody. There should be nobody putting on like a mascot's head now.
No, they said that's going to die with him, and I don't mean that to be negative.
I know what you mean. It's going to come to an end. It should, but it still sucks. Like that was one of the things I would literally run home sometimes in time to like just get to see that. If I was out shopping or something, like shit, I got to get in there. I got to see what Lee Corso does. I would scream and get Peter Richard, my son, to come in and watch it. Like, watch what he does. Watch what he does. He's like, Dad, what the hell? And I'm sitting there laughing hysterical. Like, it's shit like that. It's just hard. It's hard. It's hard to let that.
I would DVR it every week, just like watch that, like the emotional piece. Because I'd play if Michigan didn't play at noon, I'd be golfing in the morning or whatever. So I want to see what he picked, and
then plus the crowd reaction to him. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
I got to tell you, dude, it's gonna be a fucking tearjerker. It's gonna be sad.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sad. But listen, Lee, 38 years, I believe the number is doing it. Like I did. It just. Cheers to you, my friend. We're gonna miss you. As college football fans, you did a great job. And you probably got a lot of eyeballs to the screen back then too. Taking game day on the road. I remember when I was my first year playing Pee Wee football, '93. Florida State's playing Notre Dame with Derek Brooks and stuff and Lou Holtz. It was 1 versus 2. That was the first, and I had a bomber game that night, and I missed a game. and it was a big deal. And then ever since then, it's gotten better and better and better, man. And Lee Corso's, the face of that, so he'll be missed.
I'm always so bad with names on the show. Who's the college basketball guy that would be?
Dick Vitale.
Okay, so he's the Dick Vitale of college football, and that's why it's like hard. Like it's just
and he's close probably as well.
You said it. It's a guy who made it unique, who made it special. College basketball was great, but then was baby when you got all that kind of stuff from Dick Vitale, changed it. It changed it. That soundbite was in songs, like it was everywhere. It was people on TV shows. And I just think it's a lot the same with Lee Corso. It's just there's just a love there and a uniqueness. Can't be replaced, and it's hard to say goodbye. So
Yep.
Anyway, listen, before we get into like a lot of this stuff here, I wanted to do what I said was to pat you on the back a little bit.
Oh, should I just leave my pants on? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, because you don't want to be like Tobin on CNN and making a mess in front of everybody. There's a coach.
Can I guess this?
You're going to know as soon as I say this.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, there's a coach on the hot seat that, to me, is maybe on the hottest seat in all of football. Like, if you think of the NFL right now, what coaches are on a hot seat? And Brian Dable. And I don't think his seat is nearly as hot as Lincoln Riley.
Mike McDaniel.
I don't think his is as hot as Lincoln Riley's is right now. And why is that a pat on the back to Scotty, you may be asking? Well, and this goes back to what I said to open the show. A lot of times we tell you guys things and they don't happen right away. Like, we're seeing what's happening, but sometimes you're able to string something out for a while, or you can mask things for a while. Smoke and mirrors is a real thing.
Yeah.
3 years ago, when Lincoln Riley think about this, man. 3 years ago, when Lincoln Riley took the job from Oklahoma, he took the job at USC, brought Caleb Williams along. And we had a segment on here, which coaches are overrated. And Scotty's number one overrated coach was Lincoln Riley. And the masses, and when I say the masses, I include myself in this particular one. The masses thought that you were an absolute idiot for that one. Like, how could you think Lincoln Riley is overrated? He did a great job at Eastern Carolina, I think it was. And then he went to Oklahoma. Great job there. Heisman Trophy winners, the whole fucking thing. And then he comes to USC, and it's like he's got the biggest contract in college football, and he's got the private plane, and he's just the most exciting guy on the offensive side of the ball. And here Scotty goes, I think he's the most overrated coach in football. I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And here we are 3 years later. There may be nobody on a hotter seat than Lincoln Riley. I don't know that they're even going to fire him, and it has nothing to do with football. It's just because they guaranteed him so much goddamn money. I don't know that they can afford to get rid of him. But there is more talk about Lincoln Riley in college football as far as someone who has to show out and do a better job and prove the gravitas behind the name. There's no coach in college football, I think, right now that has to do that. And it's questionable whether they can this year, oh, by the way, than Lincoln Riley. So kudos to you. That was a good call 3 years ago. I don't know if you thought it would take 3 years to figure this out, although we were questioning him last year with some of the last 2 years, frankly. They haven't been good. They haven't been real good. So, Caleb Williams last year, frankly, the handling of Caleb Williams, the fact that he would allow him go on a field with fuck you, fuck Utah, or whatever the hell he had on his nails, that's on a coach. That's just as much on a coach as it is the player. You didn't know that your quarterback had that on his nails? Like, please stop it. So we've had questions for 2 years, and now it's really kind of come to a head. There's a lot of heat on him right now to perform and have a good season. I don't know that it's going to happen. I genuinely don't know that it's going to happen. And we can get into why when we talk about some of these things. So good for you. That was a great call.
Thanks,
you were
pal.
dead on balls accurate. I thought you were nuts, and so did most everybody else, but you were absolutely right.
Peter, I asked you to give me the conference winners of the four major conferences. Let's start with the ACC.
Yeah. This is a tough one for me. I do think, Florida State couldn't have been any worse last year. So they spent a lot of money. They made a lot of moves in the portal and spent a lot of money in NIL and made some moves that I like. So they're going to be improved, but I don't think they're going to. I think it's going to be Miami. I do think it's going to be Miami. You have the transfer from from Georgia coming in to start at quarterback. He's a Heisman candidate.
Carson Beck is the name.
Carson Beck, thank you. And I do think it'll be Miami. Clemson will be right there. This is probably the best Clemson team that they've had in the last probably we'll
4 or 5 years.
4 years. I think they finally started to participate in the portal and stuff like that. Debo was just dead set against it, but it's the way it is. You're fighting uphill if you don't do that. So they got a pretty good team. We're going to know real early. Who do they play this week? LSU?
They host LSU, and Miami hosts Notre Dame.
Yeah, so, and both of those are barn burner games, man. So we can talk about that a little later too. But
I would love to. Yeah, I got some stuff.
Yeah, I think Miami. I think I got Miami winning that conference.
I got Clemson because I don't trust Miami at all. I don't trust Carson Beck, and I don't trust Mario Cristobal. All three, that combination.
I trust Beck more than Cristobal. You're right about Cristobal. He's done some questionable shit for sure.
I don't like a guy transferring to a school for a girl, and I don't even think they're together.
Is that why?
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
You want to change your pick? I'll let you change your pick.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm going to go with Clemson. I like Dabo. I think, like you said, Dabo's finally woke up with the NIL and the transfer portal. Klubnik's back for his, I think, 16th year. That's a huge deal. But I'm with you. I don't think the first game kills you, and it's not a conference games either. So however, it's a big deal. You can't go in and get stomped at home at night in the first week against LSU. Well, an LSU team that's hungry, by the way.
Yeah.
But I like Clemson probably by a game or two. I don't even know if they play each other this year. Which this why this all these goddamn teams, these conferences, it's impossible to read it early on because you don't play. Yeah. But yeah, I got Clemson. You got Miami. The Big 12, sir.
This is a tough one. I'm going to throw a name out there. You're probably going to laugh at me. I wrote down some teams to watch this year, and this is one of my teams to watch that I think people would be like, why the hell would we keep an eye on this team? Texas Tech.
I know you like the back of my hand.
It's fucking crazy, right? It's just sick. We've only been doing this. We're only in our 6th season.
You like that guy. I know.
It's not just the quarterback. It's more than that. Let me tell you what they've done, dude. Over the last 2 years, they've raised something like $70 million.
Oh, I heard this. Yes.
For NIL. And I think this year, this
fucking
year alone,
Texas.
it's something like $30 million they've spent on their football team alone.
Wow.
Somewhere between, you never know the exact number because they don't have to disclose this shit.
No, right.
But it's somewhere between 20 and 30 million. Now, the big story last year was that Ohio State went bananas and spent $20 million on their players. Texas Tech just fucking blew that out of the water. Like they went close to 30 million. I may be a year ahead on this one. Okay. So maybe they don't win the division this year. It's a funky division, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know. We had a game last week, Kansas State and Iowa State, and I don't know. But I'm just telling you more than anything. Let's look at this. I'm not giving you the division winner. I'm just saying what you're gonna see this year that you're gonna be like, where the hell did this come from? It's Texas Tech. Because they just spent so much goddamn money, man. It's unbelievable.
Keep an eye out on an asterisk next to you over there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Arizona State just because I'm kind of with you. I don't know anything other than like what I saw last year.
Yeah.
And they have a ton of guys coming back. Young, energetic head coach, quarterback's back. I know they llose Scatterbo to the Giants.
I love the quarterback.
I love Levitt too. He's a fucking big kid. Yeah, he's athletic. He gets out of the I like him too. And I think that's why I'm picking, Colorado was not even on my radar. Utah I gave a quick thought to because they've been a little banged up lately. Now he's got a quarterback. That's why I thought, they're always hanging around there. BYU, that coach is pretty good, and they get those big-ass, strong Samoan kids up there too. West Virginia's not there yet, Rich Rob, but I think that's a name maybe in a year or two.
I love the hire. I love the hire.
But I think right now, Arizona State's got to unless they lose Sam Levitt early, I think that's the team I'm going.
Yeah, let's just say ahead of time, all this goes in the toilet depending on injuries, of course, especially to keep players. But for the most part, we're going away from that.
Peter, the Big Ten, please.
The Big Ten. All anybody can talk about is Penn State, right? Penn State. This is the year for Penn State. Michigan is still trying to rebuild. Is their quarterback good? Ohio State, everybody knows what they lost on the offensive side of the ball on the line. They lost a lot of players on defense too from the national championship, and new quarterback. So that's
and both new coordinators are there as well,
and two new coordinators. And one of them go to Penn State? Did the D coordinator? Yeah. So so I'm going to take Penn State to finally break through. You and I do not love the head coach. He always comes up short. The difference is this year, I just don't love the rest of the conference. I think Ohio State is not as good this year, although Jeremiah, whatever the fuck is Jeremiah Smith,
geez, fucking amazing,
just insane.
Yeah,
and I still don't have confidence in the Michigan quarterback.
Fair.
And Oregon lost Dylan Gabriel, so I don't know. I'm just not sure where they're going to be.
And their wide receiver room too.
Yeah, I just look. It's this year or kind of bust for Penn State because it ain't going to be this way for long. Ohio State's starting a redshirt quarterback. When he comes back next year, he's going to be fucking good. They're always good at wideout. Michigan's going to be improved next year. So this is it. Penn State, have some goddamn urgency. You're probably the best team in the division with we think the best quarterback. You got to do it this year or don't do it. It's not going to happen at all. Time to move on.
Well, Peter, I'm going to go at Lincoln Riley and USC. No, I'm fucking not. What are you, out of your mind? I am not doing that. I am with you. I am going to go with Penn State. You said it's this year or never.
Yeah, it's hard.
I don't even think that bald fuck can fuck up this team.
Yes, he can.
Especially with Jim Knowles as defensive coordinator. They did lose some pieces, but they got their whole offensive room back except Tyler, the tight end, Tyler Warren.
Right.
Obviously drafted
by the loss, by the way.
Yeah, it is a big loss, but I heard their tight ends in their room are pretty good. I'm with you. I think Ohio State's a question mark. I know that's crazy when they always recruit in the top 3.
They lost a lot, dude.
They lost a lot of 50-year guys, a lot of 40-year, 50-year guys. Man, I'm not saying they're going to go 8-5 like Michigan did last year, but they also have a better quarterback than Michigan did last year too. Michigan's defense is going to be pretty good. Again, offense is still a little bit of question mark. Oregon's going to be pretty good, but 9-3?
I don't know who their quarterback is. Yeah.
It's a Dante Moore, this kid.
I'm just saying, it's
I got you.
Big loss, man. Losing Dylan Gabriel, it's a big loss. All these guys.
Bo Nix, Dylan Gabriel, how many years can you do it in a row? Where Allen's been there 3 years too. You got the quarterback veteran. Running back room is good. Their schedule's cupcake. They don't play Michigan. I don't think they play Washington. They don't play. They got USC, and they have Oregon. They have Ohio State.
Right.
So Oregon at home, at Ohio State. So we'll see there. But yeah, I mean, I think this is the year.
It's got to be the year,
or else the year.
We got to stop talking about it.
It's got to be the year.
It just always come up short. If it doesn't happen this year, they're almost in a very similar situation to Ohio State last year, where lose to Michigan. And then the only way you can keep your job, Ryan Day, is go win the national championship. Not that people forgot losing to Michigan, but we were able to put that off to the side a little bit. That's the only way I think he keeps his job is if they don't win a division, go win a national championship. I will say this:
they go 9-3.
Oh my God, he probably loses his job.
Has to, right?
What's his name again?
James Franklin.
Here's the one thing I will say. One thing you've noticed, Big Ten is a better conference than SEC now, and here's why. You have bigger, richer schools. Mm-hmm. They're able to spend more money.
Oh, imagine when they made a fair game, how it evened out, huh?
Isn't it funny? SEC crying now about the rules.
Saban runs away. Oh, my God, they're paying Big Ten guys?
Smart. Yeah, they don't have the money that Ohio State and Michigan and Michigan State, fucking Northwestern. I mean, you don't have you don't have the money that these schools have. Oregon's got fucking Nike money. USC is goddamn California. So this is why you're seeing Ohio State. Who were their 2 losses to last year? 2 Big Ten teams. Who did they crush? And who did they beat?
Teams.
They beat all the SEC teams. It's not an accident, folks. I don't love it any more than anybody else. I'm just saying, it's the reality is the bigger schools, richer schools, and they're dominating SEC. So keep that in mind. But this is the year for Penn State, or else, James, I'm sorry. No bueno.
Peter, good segue. Who do you have winning the SEC?
I got LSU. Brian Kelly, I think, is an excellent head coach. He's frankly come up short as their head coach. And I thought he'd be better by now. The whole thing with him at Notre Dame, look, he was an excellent coach at Cincinnati. He was a very good coach at Notre Dame. But the whole thing at Notre Dame was if Brian Kelly only could recruit any players and not have to worry about the academic side of it. Well, you got that at LSU. You put plenty of players in the NFL. There's obviously a lot of talent, but you're not winning games. What the hell? You're not winning SEC championships and national championships. He's the first coach. He's the first of like the last 4 or 5. I don't know how many coaches it is not to have won a national championship in the first 3 seasons.
Yep.
I'll be honest with you. I think there's a chance they win it this year. Maybe not so much because they're great, but because I don't think there's a clear, obvious front runner for national championship this year. But I like LSU. I think Nussmeier is a very good quarterback. He's a little statuesque for college football, but man, can he freaking sling it? I think they have a really exceptional season this year.
I am shocked you went there because I went there as well. I think LSU. I think Kelly gets off the schneid a little bit there, and I think Nussmeier is fantastic. You know their defense is going to rebound from last year. They have athletes all over the fucking place. I'm with you with the conference too. I know everybody loves Texas.
Well, Texas is Texas. Texas is Texas oil money. So that's a different story with the money. But I'm intrigued.
No, I just mean by like football-wise. Like,
can we see it first before we crown him?
Can we see it? And can we have Sark win a fucking big game once in a while too? I mean, Jesus Christ.
I think they'll be there. Dude, they lost a lot of players in the draft too. Make no mistake.
No doubt.
But they reload too, and they got a shit ton of money also. I was going to say the Texas and Oklahoma too, but Texas money in the SEC is different than the rest of the SEC. I'm talking real SEC, Alabama, Mississippi State, like Florida. They don't have the same money. They just don't. It's just a different.
Florida's got some money.
Some, but it's not Big Ten money, and it's not Texas money. Sorry. Those are billionaires. Yeah.
Peter, can you give me a couple over-under win totals?
Yeah. So we kind of alluded to a couple of these. Actually, I kind of alluded to all 3 of these now that I look at them. I got Ohio State under 10.5. Now that under might be 10. It might be 9. I don't think it's going to be a stupid under number, but 10.5 is like basically saying they're only going to have 1 or 2 losses. And I don't think that's the case. I think it's more likely to be 9. I really do.
I'm with you. I got the same thing. I got under 10.5 for Ohio State.
My second one I kind of allude to is my surprise team to keep an eye on this year. I'm going to go Texas Tech over 8.5 wins. Now, again, that I may be a year ahead. We're always ahead. 8.5. That number seems high because I think they only won 6 games last year. It's amazing. That says a lot about what money does in sports. Gives you 2.5 more wins. Like, really? Anyway, I might be ahead of the curve on this one, and we usually are on this show, so it wouldn't surprise me. But I like Texas Tech, and I do like the quarterback. You mentioned the quarterback. We didn't even get to the football side of it. I do like the quarterback. So there were a lot of things I liked last year. Let's see how much they spent of that NIL money on the defensive side of the ball. And if they did, I think they're going to be a real dangerous team.
You have a third one?
I do. My last one, LSU. I think this number is insane. I think they're a national championship contender, and the number is 8.5. I think that was at
Is it real? I missed that one. Holy shit! I would have went that way too. I missed that.
It was on FanDuel, or maybe it was MGM, or one of them. Whatever it was. I thought I missed it. I'm scrolling down, and I'm like, "There's no way."
I missed it.
It was actually listed after Texas Tech, and I'm like, so I went back to the top and started scrolling again, and I'm seeing Oregon, Penn State. And I finally got to LSU. Now maybe I'm just wildly off here, but give me LSU over 8.5. Put the house on it. I just rent, but put your mortgage if you own the house. Put the mortgage on LSU. So,
like I said, I got Ohio State under 10.5 as well with you. I got Clemson over 9.5. Even if they lose the LSU game out of the gate, I still think they're going to roll to the fucking ACC.
ACC is relatively weak. Was their hardest game going to be SMU?
10.5 would have scared me a little bit, but since it's 9.5, I'm all over it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Illinois over 7.5.
What do these teams play? Like 12 games? Is it 12 game schedule?
12 game schedule. Big Ten play 9 conference games. I'm not sure what ACC plays, but the SEC plays 8. So that's like the big discussion. If they want to expand the playoff, then we got to get on the even playing field, playing the same amount of conference games.
I think there was just an announcement within the last week that SEC is going to 9. So maybe not this year, but soon.
I'm going Illinois over 7.5. Brett Bielema knows how to coach in the Big Ten.
We liked what he did last year. Yeah,
he was good last year. He was scrappy at the end of the year before. They almost beat Michigan in Ann Arbor at the end of the year when Blake Corum got hurt. He's just cocky enough, that fat bastard, to go in there and beat some teams. He's got quarterback coming back. He is what
I call a bloated tick. Like he just looks like a tick that's been sucking on a deer for hours and days, and just maximum density. Like if you just added a syringe of water into him, he would just explode.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, man, it does not look great. But their schedule matches up that way. They got Indiana week 4. I think that's a make or break game for both teams. I think they travel to Duke, I think week 2. A lot of people are saying that game to keep an eye on. But I still think like 7.5, 8-4, I think gets it done, man. I really do.
Sure.
And the last one I got, I think it's going to shock you here. Oklahoma under 6.5.
Under the number for this is this.
Look at their schedule.
Why is Venables still coaching there if the total for Oklahoma?
Do you want me to give you? I'm going to give you their. Hold the phone. I'm going to give you their schedule because I want to see.
Let's hear it.
All right, let's go here.
That is just a sickening number for Oklahoma.
All right, you ready, bub?
Oh yeah.
All right, week 1 versus Illinois State. Week 2 versus Michigan.
Where's that game?
3 at Temple.
Where's the Michigan
week
game?
4 at Temple.
No, the Michigan game. Where's the Michigan game? At Oklahoma.
It's at Oklahoma. Yeah. I mean, I'm from Oklahoma because I'm going with their schedule. Week 4 host Auburn. Week 5 versus Kent State, and now buckle up. Versus Texas.
That's the easy part.
Versus Texas. At South Carolina.
That's no easy game, by the way.
Versus Ole Miss. At Tennessee. At Alabama. Versus Missouri. Versus LSU.
That's a tough stretch.
Even if they beat Michigan, dude, they could still go fucking 5-7. Like, oh my god,
6.5 for Oklahoma.
I know, isn't it crazy? Aren't they begging you to take the over?
I just, regardless of what they're begging you to take, that fact that Oklahoma is sitting on 6.5 and Texas Tech is sitting on 8.5 as the over and under for total wins, bro. What the hell?
Not in-day schedules, but like
I understand, but it's Texas Tech. It's not
at 6-6. Is Venables gone?
What were they last year? They weren't much better than that last year.
You want to take a guess?
Were they 7-5?
Oof.
5-7?
6-5? What? Wait, hold on. 6-6 regular season and lose to Navy in the fucking bowl game.
Lose to Navy.
Oh my goodness.
I'm shocked he kept his job after that.
Yeah, that's going to be...
Yeah, 6-6, he's done.
Oh,
they're not doing that back-to-back. They're not doing that.
Maybe Lincoln Riley comes back home.
That would be the best job he could get. I promise you that.
Peter, can you give me a Heisman sleeper, whatever you got going on? You had something.
All right, so I got 2 picks for the Heisman Trophy. What I think is what I'll say is my pick, and then I'll give me a little... You want to throw a couple beans on a guy who's like kind of a dark horse.
I gave you 3 dark horses too, but I'll give you a winner after you go.
So my pick is Nussmeier, quarterback for LSU. Now, the only thing that holds me back a little bit, that makes me a little nervous, is he's not particularly mobile. And in college football, they love the mobile quarterbacks. They love the Heisman Trophy. Really, if you think about it, is supposed to be more of like the best athlete. You know, he's kind of like the most athletic person. So he's not the most athletic. But if he puts up the kind of numbers that I think he may do, I mean, when you consider the rest of college football this year, there's not a ton of big names this year. You know, maybe Klubnik with Clemson is another one you can keep an eye on. Who? I just can't go there.
I'm with you. But he's a betting favorite for fuck's sake.
Sick.
Drew Aller, I don't trust either, dude. Like
I like him, and I actually think he's going to be a better pro than college player. But he's come up small in big spots, and
Jeremiah Smith. But again, you're relying on a freshman quarterback. It's like
I just think that's a big ask. So I'll go with Nussmeier as my favorite, my front runner to win the Heisman. But if you're looking for a dark horse, head down to South Carolina. There's a quarterback down in South Carolina. His name is Lenoris Sellers. This dude is scary. Now, the problem is South Carolina a lot of times underwhelms in their win-loss column.
Jesus Christ.
Okay? But this guy, I don't want, this is like so unfair what I'm about to say. I'm not comparing him to him. Lamar Jackson. He's got like some Lamar Jackson qualities there. In fact, I'm going to go as far as saying he's a significantly better passer than Lamar was in college. He's not quite the runner, but he is still a really good runner. And he's big and strong. Like, he's strong. He's tough.
He's a big kid.
Lenora Sellers, he's sitting at about plus 1,000 right now. A couple things go. We like the head coach, kind of like some of the things they've done in the past. Maybe we've expected a little more than they've delivered. If he's even kind of what I think he is, maybe he squeezes out a couple extra wins. And if they have like 9, God forbid, 10 wins this year, it would not shock, because that'll mean they upset some teams that they weren't supposed to win. And that'll also mean he will have had to like played lights out. So Lenore Sellers, quarterback, South Carolina, throw a couple beans on there, and I think you'll be in the hunt for a long time this season.
3 sleepers for me. I mentioned him before. Quarterback Sam Levitt at Arizona State.
Love him. I really like him.
If they're going to be in the playoff or fighting for that, win the Big 12, he's going to be right there. Quarterback at Oregon, Dante Moore, and I'm doing this mainly on Oregon's history of Bo Nix and Dylan Gabriel going to Heisman ceremony 2 years in a row. They run a run and shoot, big spread, run, athletic kid from actually Michigan's backyard. Spurred them, went to Oregon, decommitted to Oregon before he enrolled, went to UCLA, bailed on them, and then went back to Oregon. So but that's the world now. I don't judge these kids anymore because that's the world they let you be.
It's the way it is.
And look at Cam Ward doing that, Pat, and he's doing more picking the draft. So that, to me, that bullshit's over with. Sneaky, I know running backs don't really get the nod anymore with the Heisman Trophy. But if Notre Dame's going to be as good as they were last year, running back Jeremiah Love, he was banged up in the playoff last year. He could have been a difference maker. This kid's awesome.
Let me tell you something. Notre Dame has a fantastic defense, a fantastic offensive line, and a new quarterback. So they're going to be leaning on that run game. Mm-hmm. That was going to be one of my picks this week, was Notre Dame. And I stayed away just because I can't stand picking new quarterbacks on new teams, like new starting quarterbacks early in the season. I actually have a system of saying always go against new quarterbacks early in the season, so I couldn't do it. I think Notre Dame leans on their run game a lot this year. They did last year. I think maybe even, if it's possible, even more this year.
Well, last year the quarterback helped the run game.
Absolutely.
I don't know what CJ Carr is. I know he's a big, strong arm kid. I don't know if he's mobile or not.
Right.
But I think I'm with you. I think that's why.
He transferred too?
No, he went to Notre Dame right out.
He Notre Dame. Nice.
Little Grandpa Lloyd. I'm going to Notre Dame.
You have another sleeper, or is that it?
Nope, that's it for me. Okay. We have week 1 preview, my friend. Tomorrow night. Not a great slate tonight, although there's football on, so I'm not complaining about it.
Sure.
Tomorrow, Auburn at Baylor. I think this is a pretty good hot seat game right off the bat for both of these guys.
Who's the head coach at Auburn?
Hugh Freeze.
He is, right? Yeah. I don't know how hot the seat is for him. The seat is definitely hot for the Baylor.
Dave Aranda.
Yeah, Aranda. And I like him too. I did
too.
Ran into some issues.
He had 2 mediocre years in a row now.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting game. It's always hard to like preview college football early in the season. We don't have much to go on.
No doubt.
You got to really dive into like NIL and the portal. And even then, you never know how quickly guys take and stuff like that. Like Cam Ward was a fucking beast right out of the box with Miami last year.
Yeah.
Do we know that Carson Beck is going to do that? I don't know that. Maybe he was a product of being Georgia. I don't know. It's hard. These are hard things to know early in the season.
Yeah, and Beck always had McConkey and Bowers for years to throw too. Like those guys are fucking studs in the NFL. Like, Friday night as well, Georgia Tech, who I know you like a lot, the quarterback Haynes King.
Yes, I do.
Goes to Boulder and plays Deion's sunless Colorado Buffaloes now.
This may
That's
surprise
going to be
me,
an interesting watch.
I may have a little something to say about this later on.
Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
Listen,
I think Colorado is going to be. Listen, we're going to know. I'll give them 3 games, but we'll know within the first 3 games how good a coach Deion Sanders really is.
No doubt.
Because you have no Shador, you have no Travis Hunter, You have no Shiloh Sanders, who was for college football, but for college football, he's a good safety. Even if you get a cup of coffee in the NFL, if they even give you a sniff, then you're a good college football player, and especially in that conference. So, it'll be interesting.
I just don't like the K's that's coming back.
Oh, by the way, the Travis Hunter thing, you lose a starter on offense and defense. Oh, by the way, maybe your best starter on offense and defense. So it hurts a lot.
The Heisman Trophy winner, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So I'll know. We'll have a really good. I'm not ready to bury him because I actually do think Deion is a good coach. I think he does things mostly the right way, and I think he sends the right message most of the time. I don't know if you saw, there's a video that was out last week about him talking about if your GPA dips below a certain point, he says, you ain't going to be on this team. So, like, whether that's right or wrong for college football, I like it because it sends the right message.
Well, I know he has a dress code, and I know he has guys sitting in front of the room in class. So I like that.
Yeah. So
you had that. You had dress code.
The funny thing is, it's actually this year that I hope he does well because he doesn't have all the advantages. I want to see him. I want to see him.
The circus has left town now. That's kind of why I'm rooting for Shador a little bit because let's see what he does on his own now. Like
right. It's kind of Deion. Like you don't have your kid, you don't have your guy. Let's see. Did you recruit better? Did you bring in? I know we brought in some nice offensive linemen. Let's see. I'm actually kind of rooting for him. I want to see him do well without the show.
Peter, maybe the game of the year, maybe one of the greatest week 1 games of all time.
It could be.
Is noon on Saturday in Columbus, number 1 Texas at number 3 Ohio State.
Yeah, what's fascinating to me is, and I don't know if Texas is worthy of being the number 1 team in the country, but how many times is the number 1 team in the country an underdog in the first week of the season? You could go back in history.
Not very many times.
Very infrequently. Maybe it's right. Maybe it's not. Both of these teams lost a lot of guys to the NFL and to graduation. So, but yet both of these teams are the kind of teams that continually have top 10 recruiting classes and bring in all the best talent. So it'll be fascinating, man. It'll be fascinating. The Arch Manning hype, I don't know if it's even possible for, unless he wins the national championship, the Heisman Trophy, and is the first pick in the draft. I don't know that it's possible for him to live up to the hype. I think he's a talented kid. I think it's wildly unfair to put this kind of pressure on him this early. Like, I don't care what his last name is. He's 19, 20 years old. Like, be fair. You know, now you're going into Ohio State, the first real football. You know, he's played against shit teams. The first real talented team that he's going to be playing against. Can we give him a little bit, cut him a little bit of slack? I mean, just a little? Like, could we just lower the expectations just a little? All these expectations, number 1 guy in the Heisman contest, and he hasn't even really played against anybody yet. It's kind of wild to me, and to me, wildly unfair also.
I will have something to say about this in a little while.
I may also.
At 3:30, ABC. I think it's ABC. I could be making that up, but 3:30 for sure. Number 8, Alabama at Peter Calisano's 2-10 last year, Florida State Seminoles.
I think Florida State is wildly improved this year. I think it's a big ask to come off a, 2-win season and beat Alabama. I think they're 2 touchdown dogs, two touchdowns and a half dogs. I don't see it happening, but I think they're going to be significantly better this year because they can't be any worse.
I will say something about this game in a little while. Night game. 7:30. ABC.
You sure?
Yes, I am.
Everything's on ABC.
Or ESPN, maybe. Pick your poison. Hey, sister stations, right? Disney from Disney owned.
Sure.
Number 9, LSU Tigers at number 4, Clemson Tigers. And unfortunately, my Wolverines are going against this game, so I'm hoping we get a lead early so I can fucking flip back and forth. We had this game. We've said a little bit about this game before. We both like both. I like Clemson in the ACC. We both like LSU to win the SEC. I think this game's going to be awesome, too. This is another awesome game.
We are, seriously lucky with this opening week of slate of games.
This is fantastic. Shit. And I know there's one more on Sunday we're going to talk about, too, but I really hope this doesn't go away. Like these great matchups early on, these non-conference matchups, I think this is awesome, man. Like,
it doesn't have to. What last year showed us is you can lose 2 games and still make the playoffs. Maybe 3 games, depending on who those 3 games are and who you beat.
Right.
So, let's get some great games here, folks. And this is one of them. I'm willing to say I won't hold it against teams, especially early in the season. If you can do this early in the season when teams aren't really 100% sure of who they really are, I always say you make your biggest improvements between weeks 1 and 2 because it's the first real game. No matter what you did in practice, no matter your scrimmages, now you know who you are and where you need to improve. So I'm not going to hold it against any of these teams too much if whoever loses this week. But man, is it fun! Like, what a way to draw interest in the first week of the season. You know what I mean? Especially you're not up against the NFL this week, which is great.
You got
yeah, I'm with you on that. And I may have a little something to say about this game later on.
I skipped this one. Sunday, early afternoon, Virginia Tech at South Carolina.
You know, I've been wanting Virginia Tech to show us something year in and year out, so I'm going to lay off of that one. But I did mention earlier Lenora Sellers, and you get a chance to see him kind of on his own. You'll have no other games to watch. So
this game scares me a little bit because South Carolina, high expectations, preseason top 15, quarterback Heisman, hopeful. Too. Only 8-point favorites against a struggling Virginia Tech team. This is a little nerve-wracking. Virginia, you know, VT is going to play good defense.
Correct.
With Fry a coach. But Beamer's got to take the next step here, man, especially with some expectations being there.
Yeah, I think
and going against his dad's old school too, which is pretty fun.
Look, I'll go this far. They need to win by double digits, 2 touchdowns, if Lenora Sellers is going to be a real Heisman candidate.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I'm just keeping it real. Like this is just how the game works when it comes to the Heisman.
Yeah,
you have to win well, win big. So it's a big game for him too as an individual.
Sunday night, number 6 Notre Dame at number 10 Miami.
It's a great game. It's a great game. I just don't know what we're going to get from at quarterback. I love Notre Dame's team. They're going to be very good defensively. They're going to run the ball really well as long as they can get something out of their quarterback so these teams can't pack the box and stop the run, put that much pressure. You got to at least be able to throw a little. I love the fact that it's a Notre Dame guy. It's not a transfer. I think that helps. Like, he's been there, so it's not.
And the other side, it's a transfer.
And the other side is a transfer. And like I was saying before, you just don't know how that starts. Cam Ward got out of the box like a goddamn maniac. I don't know that that's going to happen, again. Although I like Carson Beck. I think he is a good quarterback. I think he's actually pretty tough. So, and for him, at least for him specifically, it's kind of a step down in class talent-wise as a conference. The ACC is significantly easier to play in than the SEC week in, week out. So, but it'll be really interesting to see. I love week 1 because, a lot of times we see things that we didn't expect and things go poorly that we expected to go well. So, and with these matchups that you're talking about, I feel like we're going to learn a lot in week 1. I really do, which is wild. Normally you're like Alabama playing Louisiana Monroe or something like that. And it's like, I don't know shit. That didn't tell me anything.
One more game for you, Labor Day night. Bill Belichick's college debut. The TCU Horned Frogs go to Chapel Hill. Lone game. I don't know what to expect out of.
I was just going to say, what are you expecting from Belichick? From what I've seen in short video clips and stuff like that, kind of looks like he's enjoying himself. I don't know. Maybe it's
70 new players,
less pressure, lighter environment, college scene. He just looks like he's enjoying himself. 70 new players is a lot. That's a lot. So we'll see about that.
We'll see about that, but I had to mention that. Peter, let's win some people some money.
Standalone game, though. I love it's a standalone game.
Yeah, I'll be just getting done with a fantasy draft, and I'll be throwing that on the TV.
And this will start in about 27 minutes.
And go.
Go ahead. Let's go.
All right, Peter. I am going to start right out of the gate at noon on College Game Day, following College Game Day. The Texas Longhorns getting 1.5 in Columbus. Arch has been there. Julian Sain's been there for a year. Both teams always hyped up. Both teams spend a lot of money. I just think Ohio State is replacing a lot of guys. And if this game wasn't home, if this was on a neutral site, I think this game could possibly get ugly. But I think being a home game, I think Ohio State keeps it close. Run the ball, get to Jeremiah Smith the ball any way you can.
Yeah.
Blitz Caleb Downs any way you can and get the Arch Manning, get him going. But I think Texas wins this game probably. I think it's a kind of a low-scoring game. Let's go 24-20.
Yeah, when people think of Ohio State, they think of wide receiver U, they think of offense, they think of points. But what they lost a lot of was on the defensive side of the ball. And if there's anything that's going to help Arch Manning perform better, it's the fact that there'll be a lot of new starters on the defensive side of the ball. So I think that definitely plays into kind of an advantage for Texas. And so I took Texas plus the 1.5 in this game.
And new Matt Patricia coordinator too, with all new guys, is just very going to be sloppy.
I think he's good on the defensive side of the ball. So, I don't know how much of a downgrade it is. It's just a lot of players that you have to figure out what you got. Yeah. I just think it's a big ask. I just think it's a big ask against a good team.
I'm going to Tuscaloosa, Alabama for the Florida State Seminole game. They were awful last year. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Oh my God.
I think you're right. I think they're going to be improved. They got a transfer quarterback from Boston College.
I like him too. He's good.
I like him. He's a cocky kid. I like him. I think he's going to be athletic. I don't know what's going on.
Too much, but
listen, DeBoer at Alabama. DeBoer's a good coach. New quarterback there. Star running back out for week 1. I just saw on the bottom line another guy's out for them. You're going to give me 2 touchdowns with Florida State. I think at home. I'm sorry, I said in Tuscaloosa before. They're in Tallahassee. I'm going to think Florida State's going to hang around in this game because you don't know what to expect in week 1. I don't know if they win it, but I think they hang around in it. Give me Florida State plus 14.
What was the number one reason, even before the season started last year, that we didn't like Florida State? Do you remember why? Do you remember who their quarterback was that they were so high on?
Oh, DJ Uyunglele.
DJ Uyunglele, yeah. He's gone, and they've replaced him. It's just so funny to me.
Yeah, getting the guy out of the room,
that
right?
changes your attitude.
Yeah.
It just changes things.
I know.
And I think they do feel better, so they'll play better. I don't hate this pick at all. The fact that it's in Tallahassee helps me like it.
Yeah, that's my bet.
Touchdowns at home. I mean, it's almost like disrespectful. Not almost. It's disrespectful. I'm gonna go to South Carolina here and the LSU Clemson game. LSU's getting 4.5 at Clemson. I think this is the best Clemson team that they've had in the last 4 years. Klubnik has been there, since I'm 25 years old and I'm 52 now. But I think LSU, they're my pick to win a national championship. I like Nussmeier. You're telling me that they get more than a field goal? I could see them even losing this game. I could see 21-20, 18-17, 2019, 2018, 2017. 4.5? I think 4.5 is a lot to give LSU. I think you and I looks like we're higher on LSU than maybe the rest of the college football world is. And a lot of that to me has to do with Nussmeier. I like Nussmeier, and I also trust Brian Kelly. I think he's a really good coach. So I'm going to take LSU plus the 4.5 at Clemson.
I like that pick too. I'm going to go Sunday. I'm going to go to Miami, Florida. Notre Dame giving 2.5 on the road to Miami. Listen, as a Michigan fan, I can't sit here and say I love Notre Dame anything, but I really love the way Marcus Freeman runs a program.
Yeah.
I love the way they're going to run the football. Lloyd Carr's grandson's a quarterback, for Christ's sake. Their defense is always pretty good. And when they play good teams, they show up. When they play like fucking FDU is when they get in trouble.
Yeah. Who'd they lose to? Northern Illinois?
Marshall, the year before, Illinois last year, yeah. I don't trust Miami with anything in my system. The coach, the quarterback, I don't like. They lost a lot of the wide receivers. Dude, they don't even show up for the home games there anymore since they got out of the Orange Bowl. They
got it for this one.
There's going to be a lot of Notre Dame people down there. Dude, I like Notre Dame easily in this game.
You knew where I was going with this one. I'm going out to Colorado. I think told you I'm rooting for Deion. I would love to see him do well and just stick it up everyone's ass because, with Shador and all the guys that are not there, Travis Hunter and all those guys. I'm going to feel they're going to be pretty bad this year. And I actually think Georgia Tech has improved 2 years in a row. They were a tough out last year for a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm.
I think Georgia Tech probably wins this by double digits. Give me Georgia Tech minus the 4.5 over Colorado. Georgia, by the way, when we were talking earlier about who's going to win the ACC, I don't think Georgia Tech wins the ACC, but I think Georgia Tech will have a say in who does win the ACC conference. They're a tough team, dude. They're a tough team. They play tough defense. King is a nice quarterback. He can run the ball and he can chuck it. I just depends on what they did in the offseason with portal players and NIL, but I think they're a pretty good team. So, yeah, I like Georgia Tech in this game.
In review, I have Texas plus 1.5 at Ohio State, Florida State plus 13.5 at home versus Alabama, and Notre Dame minus 2.5 at Miami.
I have Georgia Tech minus 4.5 over Colorado. I have Texas, the number one team in the country, an underdog by 1.5. I have them beating Ohio State. I would just money line that and get the odds in your favor. And I got LSU plus 4.5 at Clemson. Look at me, 2 dogs and 1 favorite. It's so odd.
I love this guy. I love this guy. Who is he? I love him. All right, let's see if you have a better week this week, sir.
Well, before you do that, I just want to throw a little congratulations to Tommy Fleetwood for winning the FedEx Cup, that PGA Championship-based season championship. You and I discussed last week the idea about how they didn't do the calculated start, like, depending on what
10, minus 9, minus 8, yeah.
And I was like, no, I think you should have to go out and win the tournament. And now you were more on the side of it should be calibrated, and I'm back on that side. It just seems to me like you've earned the advantage, you deserve the advantage.
Right. Absolutely.
So I kind of waffle back and forth with this because to me, to be a champion, you should win the championship. You should win the tournament. And Tommy Fleetwood did. Tommy Fleetwood was probably considered the best player not to win a major, and frankly, he still hasn't won a major. And this was his first tournament. This is his first PGA win. But at the same time, a lot of people will tell you he's one of the best ball strikers in all of the PGA, off the tee and out of the fairway. He's magical. Gets some struggles putting sometimes, and some struggles with
don't we all
and chipping around. And to be fair, some of these British guys, they get a little spicy when things don't go so well. And while he doesn't show it like Montgomery used to show it all the time, you could tell sometimes he gets pissed and falls apart for a hole or two. So, and he didn't. He played really well, so good for him. He deserves it. He's a really good player.
Yeah. Well,
I'll say this also. This is the kind of win that don't be surprised if over the next 2 years Tommy Fleetwood now does win a major and win some other tournaments, because it's like the pressure of doing it is done, and I wouldn't be surprised because he is that good. He's a really good player.
Yeah.
So good for him.
I agree. Ryder Cup in a month. I can't wait.
It'll be fun. It always is.
Peter.
Yes, sir.
Who leads UCLA all-time in rushing touchdowns?
Oh.
Maurice Jones-Drew, Deshaun Foster, Skip Hicks, Freeman McNeil.
My God, Freeman McNeil went to UCLA. No shit. See, I always who I'm wondering why'd you throw that name in there? It's Skip Hicks. Why would you? You don't know who Skip Hicks is.
Skip Hicks.
So why would you throw Skip Hicks in there? Maurice Jones-Drew was a fucking tremendous college football player. I mean, just so good. Oh, man. Who is the other one that you said?
Deshaun Foster, the current coach of the UCLA Bruins.
Yeah, who could barely put a sentence together.
Not great.
God, I hate you with the Skip Hicks. Maurice Jones-Drew.
Skip Hicks.
You suck. I don't want to do trivia anymore.
48 career rushing touchdowns for Mr. Hicks.
When? Go ahead, when? Trivia guy?
93 to 97, I think.
You're a liar.
Look it up, fuckface. Who leads the USC Trojans all-time in rushing touchdowns?
I want to say Marcus Allen.
Lendale White, O.J. Simpson, Marcus Allen, Reggie Bush.
It's not Reggie Bush because they used to give the ball to Lendell White when it was like around the goal line because he was more of a battering ram, which is why they gave it to him in the short yardage play against Texas, and they didn't get it. People were pissed. Anyway, OJ, man, OJ ran his ass off. The juice. Oh, man. All right, I'll go with my gut, my initial instinct, which was Marcus Allen.
You almost talked. I thought you were going to talk yourself into it.
OJ?
You Lendell White.
No shit.
You took Reggie, but you were like, oh, Reggie didn't score that many because of Lendell White. And I'm like, oh, maybe he's going to go that way. And he didn't.
Didn't you give me a wink or something? Like you're on the right track.
We don't cheat here.
Damn it.
Peter, who leads the USC Trojans all time in rushing yards?
USC Trojans rushing yards.
Marcus Allen, Charles White, Reggie Bush, Sultan McCullough.
Wow, OJ's not even on that list. And OJ Simpson.
OJ Simpson.
See, what's funny here is I would lean Reggie Bush on this one because he had so many breakaway runs. It's just he didn't always score the touchdowns.
A plus
I
A.
want to go with Marcus Allen again. What were the names? Marcus Allen, Reggie Bush.
Charles White, Reggie Bush, Sultan McCullough.
Sultan McCullough. What the hell would make you put Sultan McCullough in there? Oh, I hate trivia. I fucking hate trivia. I really do. There's nothing worse than feeling dumb. Marcus Allen.
Charles White.
Okay. I don't want to do trivia anymore.
5,598 yards, and you are 0 for your last 6. And football season has started when Peter is ice cold.
My picks last year were fantastic. I hit it like
it's more important. You're winning more money that way. Keep it that way.
What are you watching this weekend? I don't even know why I'm asking.
Football, and football.
Football. I will be checking out and checking in. There is a brawl in Paris, or there's a WWE event that takes place in Paris. I'm not sure if it's at 2:00 in the morning or 2:00 in the afternoon. It's at a strange time, so I might be just checking out the highlights on that one. But I do like my WWE. But yeah, come on, man. Of course. And it starts tonight. Of course I'm watching tonight. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, work tomorrow. Okay. 6 hours sleep is plenty. For Scott Bracey, I'm Pete Colasani. You've been listening to Bump and Run. And we'll catch you guys next week.
We made it, everybody. Football's back.
Season 6. Season 6.
Happy Labor Day. Be safe.
Boom. All right.
Well, I'm in such a good mood just knowing football's here, like with the fucking preview and shit, like the fix.
Isn't that sixth season crazy?
Are you sure it's 6 and not 5?
We just finished 5. So you have to remember, we started season 1 in December. So season 2 wasn't even a full year yet.
That's fair.
Technically.
Yeah.
But I just always start the new season with the football season because that's our bread and butter.
Okay, I got you.
So
that makes sense.
It's really like
that makes sense.
It's really like 5 3/4.
Yeah, 5 3/4. That makes sense.
Season 6.
That's fucking great, man.
That's something. 182 episodes, closing in on 200. Pretty wild, but yeah, I'll have this out tonight, my man.
Awesome, dude. Hey, enjoy the games. I'm sure we'll text.
You got it. I'll talk to you later.